Hello there, welcome to what will be more or less a summary of the first session of the multiplayer game. It was kind of an interesting session, although it went very slowly due to multiple crashes and connects and, well, basically the fact that we couldn't play higher than 2. So we ended up playing 4 hours. We made very little progress during the first 2, but we ended up playing a little bit more after that. We had 3 players, I believe, or 2 players crash often, and a 3rd player that crashed every now and again. So that slowed us down a little bit, but we basically played for, or most of us played for 4 hours. We ended up in 1477. Now the players that are playing this are, I believe there's 8 or 9 of us. We have 1 player playing as Muscowy, we have 1 player playing as Poland, we have a player as Hansa, Burgundy, Castille, Savoy, the Ottomans, and England, and myself as Austria. So that should be fairly interesting. The opening move from England was also fairly interesting. Basically, screw this, I'm out, leaving every single one of his possessions in the hands of the French Blue Blob. And basically, the game was going very slow. The only thing I've really done was a little bit of conquest with the Salzburg, then going after Bohemia, me personally. England is more or less consolidated. The Isles have the vassals of everything there. Castille didn't really get to do too much, more or less. Also frequent crashes there, so basically left it in the hands of the AI, who had some problems with some heretics, but all in all, Castille did survive without any problems at all. Savoy unfortunately waged one big war against Switzerland and Venice. I helped with Venice, and decided to vassalize Switzerland, which triggered a coalition that was very, very big, to be perfectly honest. I could not, unfortunately, not help the Savoy players, so that was a little bit too bad, but that is what happened in the beginning. The result of said coalition wasn't really too harsh. The vassalage was well released, so basically Switzerland is free again. Other than that, Savoy is basically at status quo, I believe. Burgundy went on a conquering spree with the goal of forming the Netherlands, and very soon after, or rather soon after, ended up in a coalition that triggered France, which, well, caused some small issues for all of us, let's just say that. Basically, we all took England and said, screw this, I don't want to be a part of this, which was fairly interesting, to be perfectly honest. But other than that, not really much happened. The Ottoman did the Ottoman thing, which is conquer its cause, take down Serbia, etc., and basically make some moves there. So a pretty good start from the Ottomans. They did run out of manpower and some rebel issues, but came out of that without any problems whatsoever, I would presume. Hansa player has been doing well, has been conquering a little bit here, a little bit there, but have a weird pattern of conquering 3 provinces in a cluster, and then having an enemy province between. 3 provinces in a cluster, having enemy province between, and basically that's how they've been going. The Hansa also took over Uze, the island up in the north, eastern, with the Livonian Order. So that's kind of interesting. Poland had a very good start, where basically got the Union, integrated the vassals, and then everything imploded. Poland lost its union over Lithuania, and not only that, but had multiple civil wars basically going hand in hand, which, well, it would probably have preferred to be without, but didn't really happen. And then Poland decided to my conquest of Bohemia that it was time to join the coalition against me, and unfortunately France was dragged in, but it was basically, I think, a move of frustration and also, well, trying to get something. Unfortunately, Poland didn't actually get anything, or rather I paid 800 ducats to have the coalition disbanded, more or less. And well, that's basically how the start of the game went. Muscovy did this thing, just conquering everything everywhere, made a lot of progress there, and I believe Poland actually gave the money that it got from me over to Muscovy, so I have a feeling that we're going to have a big problem with Papa Bear during this game, but we'll have to see. For now, it was kind of interesting. We played from 46 to 77. So approximately 30 years. Again, not really too much happening. Hansa did a little bit of conquest. I did a little bit of conquest. Everyone did a little bit of conquest, and we basically didn't make too much progress at the end. There was more or less just screwing everyone over, especially considering the fact that once the coalition war was actually declared, the Burgundy player xcex didn't actually pay attention and was called into the war at well, more or less forcefully, which of course was rather interesting. But it's just how things go. So again, haven't been too much really going on. There's been some cooperation between Savoy and myself and Burgundy. Burgundy and Hansa is going after Denmark. Muscowy and Hansa has probably been messing around up there. Didn't pay too much attention to them. But all in all, there's been some interesting moves here. But I think what this multiplayer game will probably end up with is us having to go up against the big Russian bear. So this has been the first session. I decided to do this instead of basically a short summary with some screenshots of how the map look now, I think, or either some, I don't know, I'll probably edit some of the video in it. I'll upload the entire 4-hour session. I'm a little bit unsure how I'll do that. I'm thinking of just cutting it into 1-hour segments, so it will be easier to jump over the connects, disconnects, etc. And basically it's easy for you guys who just want to look into and see what happens. It will be without audio, because as I said, I had an audio issue. It cracks up every 2 or 3 seconds. I have no idea if it was a problem with the fact that we use Skype, or that I hadn't actually set up my audio recording properly. It might be both. It might be just me. It might just be something else. But basically, that is that was the main issue. So hopefully next time I'll actually have the stream up. There was basically every time I tried to test stream it, both to YouTube and to Twitch, it just ended up with a black page. It didn't actually record a game. I have no idea why. I'll probably have to use window mode for that. But again, it might just be a problem with me not updating or installing the things properly. But I'll figure it out. Also, Babypuncher had a lot of fun with his dice, as it was smacking people around with a large halberd while we were waiting. So yeah, that's really interesting. But yeah, as of now, it seems like basically everyone has their positives and setbacks. The only one who hasn't really had a setback so far are Hansa. Sorry, the Hansa, the English, and of course Muscovy. The only real setback that the Ottomans have had is a how should I put this? Is a fact that they run out of manpower. Other than that, they have been pretty much stable, pretty much fine. And Muscovy, of course, has been a very, very big threat, more or less. We'll probably have to wage some PvP there pretty soon. Interestingly enough, the last thing that happened before we quit the last session was that I allied France. So things are definitely going to be interesting in the new one, and I'll be aiming at actually getting that up and running. So I have no idea how I'll edit this, but I'll see if I can actually find the interesting parts and add them in here. If not, I'll probably take some of the late game footage, since basically then you will have the view of all the countries. But it's been a lot of fun. We had a lot of friendly banter, although jokingly we were planning to destroy each other every 3 seconds or so. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And as I said, I'll add the parts in the description. I'll probably upload them as either half-an-hour parts or an hour parts. I'll have to see, depending on what I decide to do. But yeah, you are going to be able to watch the entire recording if you want to. But unfortunately, as I said, it's without sound. So I would give you the advice that if you want to just check status, this one will probably be the best video. If you're interested in my moves, etc., they weren't that interesting. It's just 30 years. So I wouldn't really advise going through 4 hours of footage just to check that out. This will probably be for the best. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.